Welcome in. And from the title, you probably already know what this video is about. I'm ranking how toxic each main is from the player base. Now you might see my mains right here. I will not list my mains purely because I don't want to put any kind of bias in my mains. Now you might say, well, you're a support main, right? You must be biased against DPS. Well, that's kind of the point in my review of these characters is these are my experiences of these characters, and so you know it's gonna be biased because it's my opinions. If you have a problem with that, you can click off. Now starting off, Adam Warlock. I would say these mains are kind of chill. I've never really seen overly supportive Adam mains, and I've never really seen extremely toxic Adam mains. If anything, they more lean on the chill side, and there have been some people like DPS who switch to Adam and do horrible and are this toxic, but these are mains I'm talking about, so they're kind of chill. I'd say not mad, not toxic, but let's do this. Angela, I mean, they are toxic. I'm not sure which way to really put them, if they're toxicity hell or toxic, because even though they are not the worst of the worst, people who are Angela mains love to talk shit. I mean, that's not me just like saying anything. From my experiences, they do talk a lot. That's why they're toxic. Black Panther, I don't really need to say anything here. I mean, there is some, I'm not gonna say the names for drama purposes, even though I don't really have that big of a voice, but there's a bigger Black Panther content creator who on Twitter and on YouTube and maybe even on Twitch, if they stream that much on there, they have made it their whole entire personality of saying, oh, Black Panther's horrible, they're horrible. Every video is Black Panther's horrible, this character needs a buff, this character's horrible. And it's like, okay, I respected you before, but now you're just making your entire personality and just yell and argue with people who think differently than you. Like, I didn't even do that when Loki got a 20% nerf to his damage and healing. It's like, I don't know. And they always love just to talk and just be toxic and like voice chat and in global chat. Black Widow. From recent drama, if I'll just include that, it'd be toxicity hell. I'm also not including, oh yeah, this person's above or below. I'm just gonna say if they're put in one rank, that means they're in there, not really in any specific order. But just basing off the recent drama, I mean toxicity hell. But because I'm not counting all the throwers on Black Widow, even though DPS, well, Widow more exactly, is the symbol of throwing in this game, but people who choose Widow and throw aren't her mains. Her mains are actually pretty chill, other than a select few who love to talk. So I would say Black Widow in general is, I was gonna put meh, but after the recent drama, toxic. Blade. Other than dive characters like Spider-Man, Black Panther, Widow, I don't know. Blades have thrown my games more than anything. On purpose too. Captain America. There have been definitely some toxic Captain Americas, but there's one streamer I came across which he was like extremely friendly. I was like, can I have this person on my team always? It's like nearly every cap. I haven't seen many in recent times now that I think of it, but there are definitely a lot more friendly caps than I've seen of toxic caps. Emma, toxic. There's been many and many Emma mains who picked her up just because she's meta and just complain and complain and complain when they don't get their way on like one minimalistic miniature fact and resource. And it's like, stop complaining. And trust me, I know this firsthand. I've met many Emma mains. A lot of them are in my videos. And it's like, shut up for once. Daredevil. I mean, he's on the toxicity hell. They love to talk. Actually, I'll put them at toxic. They're not as bad as these two. Maybe it's because I haven't seen as many toxic Daredevils. He's being banned so often, even though I think he's being banned like a lot less this season because how broken other DPS are. Deadpool, I mean, I haven't seen many toxic Deadpools, so I would say kind of chill. I haven't met that many friendly Deadpools though as well, like very supportive. So I guess kind of chill. If you take his character, I mean, he's kind of annoying, but that's just kind of his character too. Doctor Strange, I would say is kind of chill. There have definitely been the fair share of toxic Stranges, but a lot of them are very chill and like are very good at portaling and overall very good experiences that I've came across. Gambits, there are two different Gambit mains. Support Gambits and DPS Gambits. Meaning, there are two different branches of Gambit. Those who were support players and picked him up and got good at him, and then another branch of DPS players who picked up Gambit and played him, and grew a different playstyle as the support mains. I'm not here to say which is better. They're both good in their own ways, but they definitely have two different kinds of toxicity. Both of them, I would say, know how to switch off the character, but one in DPS definitely play a lot more aggressive and yell at the supports. So if it's DPS Gambit, I would say toxic. If I would do support Gambit, I would say kind of chill, so that means Gambit goes in meh. Groot. I mean, I would say Groot is top tier friendly, if not amazing. The only thing keeping him from amazing is I have had my fair share of toxic Groots that's ruined the whole entire game. But at the same time, they always play on the joke. Like, I'm mostly a Loki. I was number 49 in the world world last season. And it's just amazing when I say, Groot, how much healing do you have? And they answer. It's just an amazing joke, and they always play a part into it. And so they're pretty top tier. I would say even better than Caps. Let's do that, even though I'm not ranking them like that. Hawkeye. This is a hard one. I would say this toxicity hell because of how egregious they are with the one-shots, especially the mains. But their mains themselves don't really talk that much. If anything, they're on very low tier toxic, if not leaning more towards toxic meh, but I'm only having these tiers right here. Hella. Do I need to really say anything? They're probably one of the most outspoken toxic characters or player bases in the entire game. Medicine season 0, but if they die, it's a skill issue on other people's parts. Hulk. There have been plenty of Hulks who love to talk. I haven't really met that many chill Hulks. Be fully honest, I haven't had that many Hulks on my team, so this may be biased, but more toxic side to be fully honest. Human Torch, I mean, they're toxic. It feels like every dive DPS went to Torch to learn him because he was so hard to meta, and they just talk so much. Iron Fist, while I have met my fair share of toxic Iron Fist, there also have been a fair share of supportive Iron Fist. So I would say Iron Fist is probably meh. Iron Man, again, I can't remember the last time I've had an Iron Man in my competitive matches. So in my opinion, I'll just leave him there. I don't really have that much information to base it off of. Luna, I haven't seen really much of her too. There may have been a couple toxic Lunas, but a lot of them have been kind of chill. I mean, they don't really complain that much. None of them really yell on the mic. They have all been pretty chill. Magic, I would say is meh. There have been very supportive Magics. There's been Magics which are just horrible to talk and interact with, but others that just don't talk at all. Magneto, I mean, they're borderline toxicity hell, but I'll just put in toxic. A lot of mains I have came across in my competitive matches while solo queuing, they've just been purely toxic. It's like every time they dunk on a support, it's like, oh, I'm better than you, take that. It's like, okay. There have been some supportive mags, I guess, but the vast majority of them have been toxic, at least in my games. Mantis. I would say Mantis is kind of chill. There have been some matches where maybe there's a Mantis on the enemy team kind of saying something, but overall, they work really well with me. Actually, I'll put in them friendly because I love having a double backline with Mantis Loki because Mantises are just pretty chill players. There have been some players which, I remember this example. There's a DPS Lord, or 4 DPS. We had 1 support. They switched from a DPS to support, and this absolutely ran the lobby and was complaining at our DPS. So, because I think at the end of the match, that Mantis had more damage and final hits than our entirety of our DPS. And had a better KDA. I think all of our DPS have negative KDAs and we won somehow. Other than that, they've been very friendly. Mr. Fantastic, I mean, I guess. There have been some supportive ones, but also some just toxic ones. Moon Knight, I mean, I probably, other than Emma, have more Moon Knight mains than our DPS mains. They are just purely toxicity hell. And it's so horrible just to hear them spout. I mean, if I upload the video, it's not a members saved video like I'm doing. I'm already making videos which are going to be saved into members videos for that time coming when I have 500 subs. But if I upload that video, it's going to be before this one. And it's another toxic Moon Knight with 17 deaths talking about how our supports don't know how to survive and are bad at survivability when we had like 3 times less deaths than him. Namor, I mean, I've had plenty of toxic Namors too. They are just horrible to actually play with while they're enemy or on your team. Penny, be fully honest, I've really only had good experiences with Penny players. Like in my recent matches, there have been some animated Lord Icon Pennies in Celestial 2. They have been some of the most chill players I've ever came across. Last season, when I first made it into Celestial 3, I ended on Celestial 1. But when I first made it into Celestial 3, it was with a Penny main, and they were super supportive. I was like, thank you. Overall, they're just amazing players. Phoenix. I would say they are toxic, almost toxicity hell. They don't speak out against other people as much as these people, but they are still very toxic. Psylocke. This is really a hard one to put. I'm thinking somewhere between meh and toxic, because I have definitely met my fair share of meh Psylocks, but also a large fair share of toxic Psylocks. Now, to be fully honest, the only thing keeping me from choosing which is from streamers, which they have definitely been toxic off the mic and just talking about their team. But if I don't count that, and because it's not on mic, I would say meh for Psylocke. Punisher. I mean, for a character which 90% is just tracking, they are one of the most toxic. They have one of the worst positionings out of all DPS. I don't know how, if it's just the role, if it's a player base attracted to them, but a lot of Punishers just don't know how to position and just blame their supports. Or I remember this plenty of times, they said, Loki ruined me, Loki ruined me. And it's like, I don't have my runes. They jump into a 1v6 and get shredded. I'm like, that's not my fault. Rogue? It's between meh and kind of chill. I've definitely met my fair share of toxic rogues, but I've also met my fair share of positive, more kind of chill rogues. So I'll put her there. Scarlet Witch. I mean, they're toxic. I haven't seen many of them, but they do the most middable things and get a lot of value from it. Like holding left click, have 2 movement abilities, have an instant 2 stun CC, and then say other people aren't skilled. It's like, you better look in the mirror. I think the non-skilled players in the house. Spider-Man, do I really need to say anything? Every content creator Spider-Man, which I know it's different, it's not actual player base, but every content creator Spider-Man has been extremely toxic. Other than like my personal experiences and my matches, which are like Lucky Zeal, he's been pretty chill, at least in my games. I'm 2-0 against him and 1-1 with him. None of those matches he complained. None of those matches he really yelled at people. Maybe it's just because bigger Spider-Man voices are just toxicity hell, but I'll put them there. Squirrel Girl, I would put them toxic. I have met my fair share of positive Squirrel Girl mains, but not in a very long time. A lot of them have been on the enemy team, looking down one corridor, spamming left click, getting infinite damage, infinite kills, and then like gloating at the very end. It's like, just be quiet, you didn't do much. Star-Lord, I feel like he fits the toxicity bill too. I've seen more toxic Star-Lords more than anything. Sure, they may be more mechanically gifted than large majority of the player base. They definitely have the ego to come along with it. Storm, it's like Iron Man, I haven't seen that many with them, but the ones I have is kind of chill. Thing, I mean, they're friendly. They're definitely friendly. They haven't really yelled at people from my experiences. They've been always pretty chill. Thor, toxic. They have almost the same thing going along with them with like Star-Lord. Sure, there's a lot of skill expression with their character, but they're not really using it other than ego a lot of the times. Ultron, it's the same story with Gambit. There's 2 sides to Ultron mains. Support mains, which grew their own playstyle with Ultron, and then DPS mains who played Ultron and grew their own playstyle with Ultron. But overall, I think they lean more toxic for both of them. Venom, a lot of people will probably be surprised with this. They're not toxicity hell. They're not toxic. They're not even meh. From my experiences, Venoms are actually pretty chill. Bucky, toxic. I mean, what else could I need to say about Bucky? Medicine Season 0, but then they gloat when they get a kill against, let's say, the enemy team. It's like, be quiet. Wolverine, I feel like he's meh. The mains I've went against and played with definitely are, from recent experiences, kind of butthurt when they get target banned, but when they actually play, they're actually pretty chill and happy. There was one person on my stream last night, or I guess 2 days ago now. I target banned their Wolverine. I won with them, target banned them the next game, used them on the enemy team, won against them. Next game, target banned them again, lost against them. Game after that, they're on my team again, and we won handily. And they called me a goated Loki. I mean, I've had over like 24,000 damage, around 50,000 healing. That's like 20k more than my other support, and it's just like, thank you. And then Elsa Bloodstone, or Hearthstone, whatever it is down here, and in Iron Man, I don't really have that much stuff to go on. So what do you guys think of my list right here? And for those who stuck to the end, I'll actually rank my characters down here. Cloak and Dagger mains, toxic. Most of them I've played with are just yelling across the mic the entire game. Jeff is toxic. They will never switch off, and they'll blame everyone else but themselves. Loki mains, they're pretty friendly to me. Mostly, I think, because I do what I want another healer to do when I'm Loki, which is get in their line of view, always stand still when they're looking for an ult, etc. Those just the little niche things, and they always compliment me, so they're always pretty friendly. Rocket, I would say meh, or even kind of chill. They won't switch off if they're one trick, but they are pretty chill overall. Invis, I mean, they're kind of same as Cloak and Dagger. They do have a bit of an ego, but a lot of them are kind of chill, which I've interacted with. It's kind of a flip a coin with them, even though I think they lean more to toxicity. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.